Welcome to episode 6 of Head in the Clouds. I can't believe it's already episode 6. It feels like I don't know, it feels like I've just started this project, but then again, it's already been like 2-3 months, and that's kind of crazy, but I'm really happy that I'm doing this and there's like a handful of people who actually do listen to this. So thank you so much. I invited a really good friend of mine to join me for this episode, and the original intention was to kind of, have some philosophical, deep conversation about toxic positivity because, that's kind of been a relevant topic these days, but it ended up just going into random rambles and just a fun time with my friend. Yeah, I don't know. I just hope you guys really enjoyed this one. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. See, there's a lag. Okay, let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3.
You know what? you can just take the lag into account.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of Head in the Clouds. Today I'm joined by a very good friend of mine. Hi, you.
Hi.
How you? What you?
What?
Nice to meet you.
What kind of intro is that?
Yeah, so this... Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Colleen. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, you know what? That's all the context anyone will ever need. I feel like this podcast is basically just exposing like the number of friends I have, and then I'm like slowly running out of them. And then like
See,
for the rest of the time.
That's where your sister comes into play.
Exactly. I was gonna say like the rest of the episodes is just her.
Like, we live for Chloe content, alright? Let's be honest here, okay?
Yeah, that's true. But I'm very happy that you're here today.
Thank
You're
you.
an old pal, buddy. Yeah, we're high school friends. There were like 6 of us in our class or something.
Yeah, it was like...
Class. Quote unquote.
Sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
No, it's okay. No one listens to this anymore. like there's like a small handful of people who are listening to this. So you know what? Like, don't worry about it.
Okay.
It'll be fine. Yeah. Today we're talking about toxic positivity. Wow. Mm-hmm. What a relevant conversation in this age. Right.
I'm so shit as a guest.
No, it's okay. There's a reason why I invited you. It's because you're a mess.
Clearly, not because I'm a conversationalist at all.
I invited you on because, like, first of all, you're like a Scorpio. So...
Now you're just attacking my astrology sign.
No,
because like, I know it's because of the obligation that the pact that we made in high school. We're like, we should start a podcast, and then we're like, yeah, totally, because people want to listen to us talk about nonsense for like 2 hours.
Yeah, for sure. So interesting already.
I know.
Already, the vibes in this studio is immaculate. Studio.
Me just rolled out of bed 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. But yeah, I invited you because you're also known as, well, at least from my memory, as a relatively pessimistic person in the best way possible,
What way is that the best way possible?
We'll get to that.
All right.
But yeah, toxic positivity. And and like I told you when I invited you on, like Colleen used to always say this thing about how like, if you're supposed to hang out with positive people all the time, but you yourself are like, you have a negative kind of approach to things, like how's that going to work? Like, why would positive people want to hang out with you?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, because that was something my parents used to tell me. Yeah, because that is something that I think not just my parents, but like a lot of people's parents or whoever would tell them to only hang out with positive people, for that positive vibes, so that you have like a positive outlook on life and not be so negative. Because no one really likes negativity, right? So, and as a kid, I've always been like, well, yeah, but what if, you yourself is a really negative person and no one wants to hang out with you because you're negative and you're trying to hang out with more positive people? Like, what then? So
That is so tragic. That's a paradox.
yeah, it is. So
Yeah.
that was the thoughts from 8-year-old me.
Do you still stand by that? Like, what's your stand on that today?
Oh, I haven't
Still
thought about
thinking
it.
about it?
No, I haven't thought about it in a long
Oh.
time, so I have absolutely no answer for you.
Okay, fair
for
enough.
that paradox. It's just
Yeah.
because
true.
I don't think anyone is inherently like positive 100% of the time, or even like 90% of the time. Unless you're like a robot programmed that way. But okay, that was kind of mean. But yeah.
No, it's true though.
I'm pretty sure there are like really, really positive,
Like-
happy people out there that are really, really positive most of the time, no matter what hardship is thrown at them. But they would have their bad days,
Right,
Everyone has
right,
their like
yeah.
sad days.
Yeah, if you don't, then that's just like repression.
Yeah, that person's gonna
That's not
pop like a
healthy
cracker
either.
one day,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I'm taking toxic positivity to be like the extreme end of like positivity. And it's the idea of good vibes only, and then it's if you're being negative, it's just like no go kind of thing. So what's your take on toxic positivity? Like what would you say it is?
kind of pretty much like what you've just said, really, where people would only have this mindset of like think only positive things, and anything negative or anything remotely negative thrown your way, it's like nope, just ignore all that. Repress that shit. Can I swear on this
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to.
It's okay.
Clearly it's working out very well. Repress all of that. Only, like you said, good vibes only. Anything negative, no place in your life. Which is like,
I have no space for that.
like that's not how life is, and that's not how
True.
humans are. So repressing all that
Yeah.
is just gonna make you suffer. Really, it's just gonna all come to a boil one day, and it's like you're gonna pop.
Yeah, like the weasel.
Yeah. Yes. The proverbial weasel.
No, but do you still kind of frame yourself, like your self-perception as like someone who's negative, or are you less occupied with that these days? Because like when we were in high school, there was the negative Colleen agenda, if you catch my drift. Who started it? I don't know. Could be you, could be anyone else.
Internalized bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I've definitely grown out of it. I was in a really, really bad spot back then. I had a lot of things happening at the same time. There was just like a lot. There was too much. I didn't want to be at home. I also didn't want to be in school. That's why I got a job, so that I don't have to be in any of these places. I can escape to like somewhere else. So yes, I would say that the negative, pessimistic Colleen agenda was absolutely a thing. It's not just the tinfoil hat that's on your head, man. It was a thing, and I genuinely don't know. It was only like years after like then that I've only come to like really appreciate how much you put up with me.
No.
Like I don't know how you put up with me.
Okay.
Like if I met me back then, I'll be like, bitch, just get a grip.
No, I mean, like, I think that's what people feel like most of the time. Like, for me, I'm also like, I like think about back then and I'm like, wow, I am like the cringiest little person ever. Like, I'm like that, to have people, especially people who are older than you, like, be around you and still be your friend. Like, that's honestly, like, I'm honestly really appreciative of it, because, like, I don't think me right now, I would ever hang out with someone like me. Like, I was just so cringe. And as to, like, putting up with you, like, to be honest, if I have to say, it was me wanting to be, like, an empathetic person, you know? It might not be, like, just me out of the kindness of my heart. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't say for sure, because, like, I don't remember what my thought process was like back then. But, you know, maybe it was, like, for selfish reasons. Who's to say? That's how I feel. Like, to be philosophical, like, I feel like that's kind of the truth of most things, though, is that you can't really... It's like most of the things that you want to do is coming from, like, a selfish place. Because it's like, oh, you want someone to be happy. But that's something you want yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But going on a tangent. Since we're already on that topic, back then I'm pretty sure I was a lot more carefree because I didn't have anything else going on in my life.
Just petty
Like,
high school drama and
yeah.
behind you.
Seriously, like there was just school. Like that was like all the social activity I had. Like at home there was like nothing really going on. Like I'm very lucky to have nothing to like really worry about except for just school. Like that was like the pinnacle of drama
And there was
at the
surprisingly
time.
a lot of drama in our school.
Yeah.
Like there was more drama, like almost as much drama as I had when in the other high school that I went to. The
Yeah, which
Chinese
is
high
like
school.
significantly bigger.
Which is significantly bigger.
And I remember you wrote me like a birthday letter. Wow, getting into the nitty gritty. No, it wasn't like anything specific. It was just like, and then you like had a little like list of like, oh, you know, these are the traits that make you special, make you you kind of thing. And it was like one of the, and I went back and I found it like 2 years later, like in college and stuff. And I was like, wow, like I sound like such a nice person back then. Like I was like so positive like all the time. And I guess in a sense it's because like I had nothing else to really worry about. So I
Yeah.
was like already like really positive. But also like thinking back on it though, like do you think like that was like really toxic of me, honestly?
I wouldn't say so, no. Because that was just you and your own outlook on your own life, that you were content and happy. Like, I'll get into that later because that was also like one of the things that I had in mind. Yeah, but the thing is, you didn't push any of that on me when I was like being really down on like stuff. And yeah, so you basically just were empathetic and would just like listen to me rant at whatever nonsense that I was upset about that day. You know, stupid Friday cucumbers or whatever.
Right. I still think about that all the time.
I forgot about that. I just only remembered.
Spontaneous recovery.
I know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that you would just like listen to me rant and just let me like let out whatever the hell frustrations I had inside. And yeah, so I didn't think that it was toxic at all.
Yeah.
Coming from you.
I feel like this is like a very like fulfilling kind of episode. I'm just like, tell me I'm fine.
You
tell
are.
me I'm a great person.
Apparently, according to the letter I wrote you, like I wrote like 20 things on there. I think 21. I added one extra or something. My parents are the kind of people who would be like, anytime I have any sort of emotion other than happiness and contentness, they would just be like, why are you feeling this way? That is not productive. Stop. You feeling angry?
Right.
Stop feeling angry. What good is that gonna do you? Nothing. I'm like, I just need to rant. Let me rant for a moment, okay? And then you can start giving me solutions.
Like you need to go through the motions. I totally agree. Like for a few years after high school, for the next like 3 years, I would say like each year, like my resolution was like to be more optimistic again. You know, I was just like, oh, because like that's just like a better way to be, you know. And I'm like, I don't really want to be like so pessimistic. Like I want to be like excited of upcoming things and stuff like that. But last year was actually like, I feel like a pretty good year. Like maybe I'm the only person. No, I think because of all the introspection that people were going through during quarantine and everything like that. People who are like lucky like me who don't have to worry about, you know, other things like financial stuff. I was like, last year I was just less preoccupied with like having to be like super positive, because like the world had gone to shit anyway, you know, because I was like, what am I even positive for? But I was less just preoccupied with that and instead was just, you know, feeling the waves and feeling feelings. So I think that's a much better way to be, instead of just being like, it's not productive to be sad or angry.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like the mentality I'm like adopting these days, which is because I also have like a lot of things going on right now that's been like stressing me out. But like I'm trying to just take it one day at a time, one foot forward, you know, one foot in front of the other, moving forward, and just doing what I need to do. And you're right, like thinking about positivity and all that. You know, in a sense, it is quite a luxury. You know, because like you said, you didn't have anything going on in your life, right? You only had school back then to worry about this one thing. And as you get older and you get more and more responsibility and all that, you just can't help but like just feel like kind of hard to like maintain that like that optimism like consistently. You'll have good days, you know, you'll have days where you're like, yep, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm motivated, I'm gonna like, you know, do what I set out to do. And you'll have days where like you're like, nah, you pull me out of bed at like 6 p.m. or something.
Right.
So,
yeah. But I mean, I do understand why people are like, oh, negativity isn't productive or like is bad for you in the long run. Like I do get like excessiveness on either front is like
moderation is key.
Exactly. Wise words.
Wise words.
No, but it's really true though, because like I get why people say like, oh, if you're like just negative and then you approach everything negatively, you're like setting yourself up to like fail. Not necessarily like literally, but like it's just, you know, even if something good happens to you, you can only frame it in a pessimistic way. Like I do understand, but of course like extremeness on both sides is also bad, and like the toxic positive side, I feel like there's more people talking about it these days, you know, conversations on toxic positivity, but I feel like there's still a lot of that, especially when you're not very close to someone, like a random colleague at work, and they say something. Like, all you can say is just, cheer up, it'll be fine, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, how do you even, like, not do that? Like, how do you be positive in a good way? Like, where is the line between good positive and bad positive and good negative and bad negative, you know?
Yeah, I guess one of the ways you could go about it, I suppose, is to be positive but also acknowledge that the negative is there and it exists, you know, and it's not, the world is not rainbows and unicorns and puppies. It's also just trash sometimes. But like acknowledging the trash and working towards
recycling that,
working towards a recyclable future.
You know what? Really wise words today being thrown in the air.
Still haven't drank my goddamn water.
Is it just water? Are you?
Yeah, it's just water.
Do you drink coffees in the morning?
Sometimes when I really, really need to wake up. Apparently this wasn't enough for me to wake up. Mostly because I didn't expect me to wake up this late.
Yeah, that's fair. I have been trying not to drink coffee, but I don't think it's working. I think I've gotten addicted to it.
Oh no.
Like, in a way.
Can't
but that's
function
besides
without
the point. No, it's just not even like can't function. It's just like I really want it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Coffee is really tasty.
Yeah, with a lot of milk and stuff.
I drink mine black. I'm a weirdo.
No, I don't like that.
I
need the milk.
I tried once with sugar and I just went,
Oh, sometimes the sugar tastes weird. Yeah.
Yep.
And sudden impromptu coffee talk. No, but like going back to what you said, the approaches. So like, should everyone just be realistic? Should everyone just manage their expectations? In the beginning, you also mentioned it's not just something you're fully like positive or fully negative. So is it kind of like a nurtured kind of thing, or is it just part of like, is it something changeable? But should it be changed?
You mean someone's positivity?
Yeah, and like their positive negative spectrum.
I feel it's one of those things where it's a state of mind where it can change, but it's not something you can force it to, you know? It changes like naturally and over time and circumstances and all that kind of stuff. Like back then in high school, it was only during that period of time where like shit was happening, where like I was just in a downward spiral of negativity. And but before that I was pretty like positive and like relatively like optimistic about things. Even though I can be a bit pessimistic and all, but like you could tell that I still had like some semblance of positivity within me and stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. That's not a good way to put it, but I'm not articulate.
Like I wasn't just a shell of a man. Like there was a semblance.
I was a semblance of human being. No, I was like 80% human being.
What's the 20%?
I don't know. What am I saying? Cut this whole part out.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
What the fuck was I trying to say?
I have no idea.
And basically, I'm trying to say is it was only during those bad circumstances where I felt that where I had a very, very pessimistic outlook. And over time, over experience and meeting new people and gaining just time and experience really, things change and your mindset changes. So so I'm no longer
grow
as
through
negative.
What you go.
Exactly. Wise words from Colleen and Claudia from 2016.
Yeah. Honestly, we had really good thoughts, just saying.
Clearly the ego has never changed between the two of us. We were absolute know-it-alls in high school.
Yeah.
We still fucking are.
So pretentious, like honestly. Acting like we know all the secrets to life.
I know, and we're actually just two idiots. Look, we're even self-aware.
Yeah. No, but you know, it's like fake it till you make it. One day I'll fit in these shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but don't fake it where you're repressing everything else.
True.
You know, like
very good correction.
Back to toxic positivity. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Well, I also wanted to talk about like social media. Like I honestly don't even know like how present you are on social media. You're like a phantom. Kind of.
I am both non-present yet omnipresent.
Yeah.
I am in two states. I am in superposition in quantum physics.
Everywhere and nowhere.
I am Schrodinger's cat.
Do you use it a lot?
I would say not really, but also kind of. Okay, I would say this. I rarely ever open Facebook unless it's to check something that has to do with my university. Right. I would sometimes open Instagram. I, till this day, have not created a TikTok account, so I don't know what that's like. I think out of all, I use Twitter the most.
Oh, really?
Because I follow literally no one I know in real life on Twitter, and no one I know in real life follows me on Twitter.
Oh yeah, totally. I understand that. No, but speaking of that, you know, like, do you think that social media does but sort of heighten that sense of toxic positivity, where like people are just posting good things that happens to them, and then when other people see it, you're like, oh darn, like I wish I lived their life, you know, kind of thing. Yeah,
I think to a certain degree, yes. Yeah, again, because I use Twitter the most, I don't post much there ever. I'll sometimes reply to stuff, but I don't really post anything. And Twitter is like a landmine, like a field of landmines. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. Not a landmine. It's a field of landmines, right? Like
a land of mines.
Land of mines. So like you never like there is positive stuff and there's like a whole ton of negative stuff on there.
So much.
Like So like, okay, so let's take something else, for example, like Instagram. So that's usually where there's a lot of good vibes only kind of posts would come from. People posting about trips they went on, food they ate, hangouts with friends and all that kind of stuff, or like outfits that they wear and things like that. So yeah, I think to a certain degree, yes, it can perpetuate like a hyper positive environment, because everyone is just showing off like the best sides of like their lives and all that. And yeah, so like on one hand, like, you know, you get it, we get it, no one wants to see like the sad, depressing parts of their lives. Like, who wants that? Who wants to show that off? No one. So
yeah, and like if you do show that off, then people are just like, oh, she's just asking for attention.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like you said, one of the things that I think have been talked to death about social media is about how you would see like posts like that and you will feel like envy or something, you know, and you feel...
You're like saying it like you've never... You're like envy, like...
I don't know how to put it. I'm not saying like, that I've never felt that emotion.
No.
I have. I do
You're like
feel
a distant
sometimes,
god.
But like distant god. I'm saying it as in I don't know how to put it. I am not. I cannot English. You caught me on a bad day. What even is English?
Yeah.
What I don't know how to say it.
I
How do
interrupted
explain
your
it?
train of thought.
Yeah, no. What was I trying to say?
Choo choo.
Is it even envy? Like, can you even call it that? What is that?
Okay. I feel extremely envious of people. I don't know about you. Maybe it's because I'm always on social media. Maybe it's because
I do sometimes, and that's why I avoid social media.
Yeah, I don't because I'm an idiot. Like seriously, over last year in like August, September, I like had enough of Twitter. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna undownload this. And then immediately after, I just went on my laptop and opened up twitter.com. So I'm an idiot, okay? That is like the premise of it. But like I am often jealous of things that like don't even relate to me like at all, you know? Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm envious of like the core values of that thing, you know, like oh, they're happy, that kind of thing, instead of like being jealous of like their specific achievements or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's not like I want to be them, but I'm like kind of like envious sad about it. Like that could have been me, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
If I like did if I worked a little harder or something, kind of thing.
I feel that. Yeah, that is me sometimes on social media, even on Twitter, where it's even though like I don't usually follow stuff that post things like that. It's usually like just news and updates on things that I have interest in. Mm-hmm. But when I do obviously everyone does come across posts like that, you know, when it's like personal life, there are people showing off like parts of their lives and all that. Like I do also feel envious. I'm like, oh, I wish I could like also, you know, go hang out with people in the middle of a pandemic and like on a private island somewhere. That'd be great. Realistically, it ain't happening. But yeah, I absolutely feel that and understand that. So I guess envy is the kind of the right word to put it.
It's not like I want to post about like my honest day-to-day realities either. You know, so I can't be mad at people.
Nah, like you can, if you feel happy posting about something in your life you want to share with your friends and family, go right ahead. Ain't nobody stopping you. It's your prerogative. So, yeah. Right. And if you don't want to and you want to live like a freaking hermit under your big rock, go right ahead. Join me and my big rock. That space. Actually, don't. I'm a hermit. Get out of my rock.
You're like, leave. I don't know if you know, but like I have a study blur account on Tumblr. Yeah, so like study inspiration stuff. The thing is, I only post. Well, I used to only post when I'm like feeling happy or productive, because I'm like, why? It's study inspiration. Like, why would I want to post about something that's not inspirational? Like, it's just gonna make people who see it feel demotivated. Like, I only want to share the things that can inspire people. I'm like, oh yeah, like I got straight A's, you can do it too, kind of thing. But like, isn't that in essence like the core of like toxic positivity? It's just like only right.
Yeah, because I feel like I have seen posts where people will post like stuff that are where people talk about like, you know, some of their hardships and all that, and you can see other people responding where like, oh, I can relate to that because I've also been through that and all that. But I guess, but then there's another way you can also look at this, like because you on social media you don't just follow one singular account. Right? I guess when you do have one account that's always posting positive stuff, I don't think that's inherently a bad thing as well. Because what if I'm having a really bad day and I do want something uplifting? I can trust that account is gonna give me some, you know, uplifting positive vibes. Like there is an account on Twitter that's like I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically posting about women and their wins in life.
Their wins.
Yeah,
that.
I know so like that just makes me happy sometimes, you know, like looking through like stuff that people have accomplished and stuff. Obviously, yes, there is envy, like goddamn, I wish I could be a doctor, world saving lawyer or something. Yeah, but like nah. But still, congrats on that person's degree. Good for you.
Yeah. Happy for them. Yeah, I love humans sometimes. Mm-hmm. The happiness we can feel for strangers. Mm-hmm. No, but yeah, exactly. Those moments are, you know, they can be good for people, but even when like someone's talking about a negative experience, like I feel like, at least for me, I'm like expecting there to be like a lesson to be learned, or like a moral of the story that's like good. You know, someone talking about their hardships, but at the end of the day, good things happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Even if their hardships and all don't have a happy ending, or yet to have a happy ending, I if it's depending on how they phrase it, right? Like if they phrase it incredibly negatively, in like and where they're just like ranting off in like a in like a very hateful way and all that, it's like, ouch, like why? You need to like take a moment away from social media, because social media can be very toxic. You can have comments that will like bash you right back, you know, that will make your situation in your like state of mind even worse. So like I feel like at that point, like you should probably take a step back from social media and like process it, you know, and like talk to people like who know you and stuff, or a therapist or something, you know, instead of like blasting whatever it is on social media. But
I feel like, how much though do we owe to other people to be positive or negative or candid on our social media? Like, or is it up to like individual people in the world to kind of filter through the content themselves? You know, people say stuff like, oh, well, I'm not your babysitter. You know, like, you can have access to anything you want. That's the thing with the modern world.
True.
So like,
and then
like,
you can also make the argument of free speech. Like, I can say whatever I want. If I want to blast on social media, I have the right to do that. And it's true, you do have the right to do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean
you're just
it's healthy,
not a good
though.
person. Yeah. That's the thing though. Like, I don't understand people who don't want to be good people. Like, I genuinely don't. Like, I personally don't. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. I don't know why people
who don't want to be good people.
Yeah, around people who like just genuinely don't want to be compassionate or helpful or like not racist, you know? Like, I just don't get it.
I feel like it's a very complex thing to answer, actually. It's not just like psychological, also like sociological, depending on their background, their upbringing, the environment that they're in and all that. A lot of factors can play into why it is that people do the things they do, believe in the things they do, you know? People who are racist, homophobic, and all that, like, a lot of it is very, very internalized, and they believe that whatever they're saying and thinking is the right thing. When, you know, and like, that I was coherent for like 30 seconds there.
And then you lost all your power. Like,
my
it dissipated.
brain just went like 100 miles an hour, and my mouth just went.
You have good thoughts.
Yeah, I just don't know how to articulate them.
Ejaculate!
Articulate!
Oh.
Dumbass. My God, Claudia. Clearly some things don't change. What are you, 13? Jesus. Why is it that people do bad things, or why is it people don't want to be good people? Yeah, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of factors. Why is it that you're a good person? How come you don't want to do bad things?
Great question. Okay, for me, like, I feel like it's an innate thing. Like, I feel like humans as creatures, like, just naturally have, or are supposed to strive for like compassion and stuff like that. I don't know. I just see, that's why, because like I just don't understand like why people wouldn't want to be good.
That's like,
so I don't,
you know, that's because we are privileged enough to grow up in like a happy-ish society, and also like family life, home life and stuff. So you know, we have parents who care about us, who love us and all that, and support us. Yeah, and some people don't have that. Like you say, you have this innate feeling that, you know, people should be empathetic and all that. Then people should, but not everyone grows up thinking like that. Also, even if you did grow up like thinking like that, what if you don't have like sources of control around you? You know, what if you don't have that self-control to like you see an opportunity to commit a crime, for example, and you don't have that self-control to be like, you know, that's a bad thing, I should not do that, and and you do it instead. So that's one of the theories in criminology, the view crime, and then why is it that people don't commit crime? Yeah, there's control theory, not just self-control, it's also outward control as well, external controls as well. You know, like your parents having a wife and kids to care for, to set an example for. Yeah, things like that.
I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And like going back to toxic positivity, I guess like it kind of does reflect that a little bit in the sense that people who do have the liberties of posting things like that or perpetuating mindsets like that, it's because they have the privilege to do that.
Yeah.
You know, they're not out there, they don't have to, think about their self-preservation. Well, maybe some of them do, who's to say? But like in general, the toxic positivity community,
Yeah.
the toxic positivity industrial complex, like they don't have to like be worried about like we're worried about like things like real things in life that you can't be positive about, like fighting to get your rights or trying to just get paid on time. Like you can't always like live the good life and do yoga and like meditate,
Yeah, exactly.
and go to therapy. Like you can't, some people can't afford that, don't have the time for that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
that's true.
and we shouldn't glorify toxic positivity or those, just, I don't know, like I feel like people, like those really aesthetic and beautiful posts that you see on like Pinterest and Instagram and everything. I understand that they're like really nice to look at and like nice to repost and nice to look, like just like and stuff like that, but I don't know, I just feel like in the long run it's just not very fun for us.
Sorry, my brain is going 100 miles an hour again.
Yeah, I'll wait.
No, I'm pulling it back. Alright, it's your thing.
Your sound effect. Some things really don't change.
Dude, I forget that I do sound effects sometimes, and I
Yeah.
did it in front of someone who I like new friends and all that, and like people make fun of me for it. I'm like, God damn it, I forget that I do that.
I will fight them. Why would they make fun of you?
I don't know. They're just like, you're weird. Why are you like this? I'm like, I don't know.
No, out them right now. Speak your name into this podcast that many people will listen to. No one's listened to this point, so all they hear is like our randomness in the beginning, not knowing that Colleen delves into criminology at the end. Well, you missed out.
I also went into quantum physics at some point.
Yeah.
The versatility of my mind, where I only
No,
know
it's so true.
shallow depths of topics.
I love your diversity.
Yeah, but
you
it's
know?
only very shallow surface level understanding.
Me too, though.
It's not like very in depth. Even
I feel that way though.
even like in freaking computer science, I can't even explain to you
Isn't
half
that
the
your
things
major?
I understand. Dude, half the things is like it really messes with your brain. Oh my god, you think it's just all coding? No. It's gonna be about computational models and stuff, and like
I don't know
and
what
like
that means.
calculus and shit. Ugh.
See, I have pea brain. I studied journalism. And in journalism, like genuinely, that's like I feel like the jack of all trades thing is like the way to go.
Because
like,
I'm in the wrong trade.
You don't
then.
really have, yeah, because like you don't have to get into like a niche or something, like unless you really want to only write about like business journalism or something. But if you're like a reporter fresh to like a reporting place, like they're probably just gonna make you do random stuff.
Yeah, and I think for your case, it would be good to be, like a very like vast general knowledge to like
Yeah.
rely on. At least you have like some idea of whatever it is that you're going into.
Yeah. No, but I feel you a lot though. Like I feel like I know some stuff randomly, but like for example, the whole like God's particle thing. Like I just would know randomly interesting things, but not about the general thing. Like I know shit about like astrology or quantum physics or astrology. I meant astronomy or like anything to do with science. Like I literally have a pea brain when it comes to that. All I know is how to study for an exam, and I just forget
Same.
everything.
I don't understand shit from physics. What is that thing? Terminal velocity? That's the one
Yeah.
thing I know. I remember you mentioning it in class, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that is. And you're like, you
Yeah.
know what this is? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, good for you. That's
Yeah,
your
I was
brain.
like the one
when you're
person who
going.
didn't take physics in class.
Yeah. I don't even remember who took physics. The problem with me though is that I always feel like if I'm friends with someone, I'm like I have to be friends with them for life. You know, Like, I just can't stand the fact that someone will forget about me.
Aww. Yeah.
You're like, I'm like, that's supposed to be angry.
Oh.
You
No.
can't forget about me, and you're like, aw.
As in like, I'm just like, I can't relate. I'm such a shitty person.
No.
They never stop. They just stop talking to me. The next thing I'll be like, oh, fuck you. I'm
Yeah.
pretty comfortable
Fuck you
here
too, I
under
guess.
my rock. I'm such a shit person, Claudia.
No.
How? This is why I have no
Ignorance
friends.
is bliss.
Ignorant is.
The older I get, the more I understand that phrase, though.
Mm,
Sometimes you just don't want to know.
mm.
Like, I'm not talking about, like, really important stuff.
Oh, no,
like,
no.
you can't
I'm
be
talking
ignorant.
about, like, people. I
Yeah.
don't care.
I'm talking about, like, the minor, unnecessary things in life. I also feel like, because I've always been, like, younger than my peers, I always feel like, I'm so mature and
I know,
confident
like-
and stuff like that. But I really don't think that's what makes you mature. I feel like the daily inconveniences and the amount of hours that you have to just suffer through doing nothing and just being bored and being done, that is, like, truly what, like, makes you mature. You're like a barrel of wine. Like, you can't, no matter how mature the barrel of wine thinks it is, it's not matured enough.
Yep.
I'm a barrel of wine.
You are.
Crack me open.
The execution of that line was just. I'm
Well.
not gonna. No response, Your Honor. I'm
No, you could be a barrel of anything in this world.
trash. Okay, no.
Recyclable.
Recyclable. See, yeah.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
That's true. Compost. You
Right?
Give it some
Oh
time.
my god, yeah. My cousin is like so excited about like the freaking worms in the bin of the compost.
Oh, you're gonna like talk
There you
shit
go.
about your cousin.
Oh,
like,
nah.
My cousin is a box of compost.
She's not. She's like gremlin. She's like 3,
Yeah.
nearly 4, and like
Oh.
she's like 3-ish, and like just so mischievous and naughty, and like yeah. So she's a
I
gremlin.
see.
That's
I
what
see.
I
I
call
thought you
her.
were talking about a 20-year-old who's like really into sustainability.
No. It's a 3-year-old. Excited about worms.
Yeah. Wow. This episode has really gone to very distant lengths.
I know it has. Positivity now no longer sounds like a word to me.
Yeah. Positivity. But yeah, what's the moral of the story? What's our conclusion?
Don't be a dick. I mean,
What do you think worked for you at the end of the day? Like, maybe it's just time, you know?
time, to a certain degree, yeah. But you know, even if you use time, it's not like negativity and positivity is like some sort of atemporal thing, right? It doesn't mean that the older you get, the more positive you are.
Right.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not linear. Sure, time heals wounds, and then time also brings about new wounds.
True.
I would say, moral of the story is moderation in both. Have like
Yeah.
a realistic outlook, not outlook, but like a realistic mindset of your situation,
Yeah.
whatever the hardship may be.
Mhm.
But also try to maintain some sort of positivity, and figure out ways to like to get yourself out of that situation.
Yeah.
You know, even if you've
Yeah.
exhausted all situations, I'm sure somehow, some way, there is like some silver lining somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. I think it definitely requires effort, you know?
It
Either,
does.
like, no matter how you want to move, like, okay, it probably doesn't take much effort to be negative. Because the world is just like really cruel and mean. But you know, like like you have to put in the effort to change how you view things.
Yeah, like it's something that only you can do internally. Like I mentioned earlier about like how it's a state of mind that you naturally like come out of. You can no one, not even yourself, can just will it the next day to like get yourself out of that funk that you're in.
Right.
Like even if you talk about depression and all that, it's it's really really hard to get out of depression. But you can only get out of it if you seek help,
Right.
and if you're lucky, you have people around you that notices it and like wants to help you and all that. But true help can only come from within. That and and you need to put in the work and the effort to like to make that change. So yeah. And again, like all these thoughts is coming from someone who has for the most part of her life been very very privileged, even though she's been pessimistic as hell. But yeah, I still tend to like do have like some positive outlook on life, right? Like even back in high school, I'm pretty sure sometimes when I'm being negative, it's because it apparently has become part of my personality already, and
your brand.
It's my brand, the Colleen brand, but I may say stuff, but I don't really mean it,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like you weren't just completely negative. Otherwise, I genuinely like would not have a fun time hanging out with you. Yeah, no, I just wouldn't have fun,
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, and I think in terms of like toxic positivity and stuff like that, just like be mindful of like what you consume, and also like listen to people. I guess like don't just like push that like it'll be fine thing. Like sometimes it won't, and like if you say like it'll be fine, then like I feel like it's also like a bad way, kind of. I don't know I'm trying to say like it might not be fine. So like what's gonna happen to the person then if it's not fine? Like you just like it's like when a doctor tells a patient that like everything's gonna be okay and then they're not okay.
Yeah.
Like don't do that. Just be nice, but like don't force that into someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's our thoughts.
I'll be amazed if anyone made it to the end of this nonsense. I don't know what you're gonna cut out. Probably a lot. Just us going on tangents on something completely off
I'll
topic.
include some of them. It's interesting. Yeah. It's like America's Ninja Warriors. Who'll get to the end? Press the buzzer. I don't know. You might fall into the pit somewhere along the way.
It's not a pit, it's like water, so that's fun too,
Yeah, exactly. Water park. Thanks for listening.
on the note of water parks.
Love water parks. I'm
Same.
a Pisces. You're a Scorpio. Yeah. Water signs.
Am I a water sign? I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer are water signs. And then you have like the Chinese signs as well.
Yeah.
There's like 5 of them. And apparently I'm like Earth or something.
Really? That matches well.
I am compost, basically.
I was gonna say you're very grounded, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm a water horse.
You're a water what?
Horse.
Oh yeah, you're born in Europe. Again, I still can't believe you're the same age as my brother. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Because you reminded me that he's also like a horse. So I'm like,
He's also a barrel of wine, so give it some time.
Or like fucking whiskey or something, you crack it open, drink it, like, wow, that's straight up petroleum.
Okay, we'll end before this gets into even more juicy family gossip.
I love him, but goddamn.
Thanks for joining, Colleen.
You're
What a
welcome.
great episode.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming. All right, thanks for listening. Bye. Say bye, Colleen.
Bye.
Yay.